Good afternoon. CRTV's afternoon edition with Manka Ambe. First, the main point. Plans are underway in Yaoundé to solve the perennial problem of potable water in Yaoundé once and for all, as works on the water supply project from the river Sanaga to Yaoundé have intensified. A patient, Ibrahim Bello, whose legs were amputated 2 years ago, is being taken care of by the Ministries of Public Health and Social Affairs, and he is responding positively to treatment. And out of Cameroon, former Nigerian Army Chief of Staff, General Umaru Namata Gazama, has taken over command of the G5 Sahel Army. The stories and more right ahead, but first, the bulletin.
Good afternoon. CRTV News with Drusilla Mokoso-Joki. The Director General of the National Center for the Rehabilitation of Persons with Disabilities says the government of Cameroon is following up and paying for the cost of rehabilitating 20-year-old Ibrahim Bello, whose 2 legs were amputated 2 years ago. Ms. Dr. Manga Alexandre was speaking to CRTV today following a report published by an NGO accusing the center of torture and sequestration of the patient. Describing the report by the Mandela International Center as a mere campaign to slander, Mr. Manga Alexandre added that plans are underway to set up a business activity for Mr. Bello, whose rehabilitation process runs off by December this year.
CRTV's afternoon edition.
We set the pace. CRTV's afternoon edition.
Connecting people.
You're welcome back to CRTV's afternoon edition. On to one of our lead stories. The Director General of the National Center for the Rehabilitation of Persons with Disabilities says the time frame for rehabilitation differs depending on patients and the gravity of their disabilities. Dr. Manga Alexandre was speaking to CRTV today following fresh social media reports that a patient whose 2 legs were amputated 2 years ago is going through sequestration and torture. Rigobert Maniga visited the National Center for the Rehabilitation of Persons with Disabilities in Etugebe, Yaoundé, to investigate the situation. Here is his report.
20-year-old Ibrahim Bello, who hails from the Mbamankim division of the Central region, lost his 2 legs at the age of 18 after some physical and psychological torture at the detention center in Ombesa. The boy, who dreams to become a businessman, is now ready to face the world in his new state.
I am very thankful to this center. The government has been taking care of my bills through the Ministries of Social Affairs and Public Health. There are even arrangements to set up a business for me by the time I leave this place in December.
Dr. Manga Alexandre is the Director General of the National Center for the Rehabilitation of Persons with Disabilities, where Bello is a patient since 2017.
All what we did for Mr. Bello was free. He was sometimes sick, as everybody, and he's been treated, and we made many exams. He's even eating 3 times a day since 2 years, free of charge.
According to Manga, his refusal to accept an informal request from the Mandela International Center for Mr. Bello to testify in a court case forced the group to scheme what he now calls a media campaign against his center.
And then 2 months after, the court sent us a request, and we sent Mr. Bello to the court.
He adds that the rehabilitation of persons differs in time frame depending on the patient and the gravity of his disability.
The first year was the year of making him speak because he don't want to speak to anybody. It is a long process. The process to rehabilitate the standing up and the work is for this year. He is supposed to be reinsert in his own community.
Going by the report published by the Mandela International Center, the National Center for the Rehabilitation of Persons with Disabilities is accused of torture and the unnecessary sequestration of Mr. Ibrahim Bello.
Rigobert Maniga. The management of the company in charge of hygiene and sanitation in Cameroon says disposing of some 500 grams of household waste in Douala collected during the rainy season entails collaboration from Douala city dwellers